Cassie, it is so great to have you on this chat because I can't wait for others to hear about your story and the big transition you've made in your career. And I'm just so thankful that you're willing to share it because that inspiration and hope is part of the amazing things that I get to experience with clients. So thank you for your time today.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure to be here.
So let's rewind back a little bit to before you made your change. So tell me what was going on, kind of how were you feeling? Why were you thinking about working with a coach at that time?
I felt like something was missing in my career, and it felt like a funny thing to have missing. Like there was something else I was supposed to be accomplishing, something that like I just didn't feel fully fulfilled, even though I was doing all of the patient visits, having great interactions with my providers and patients and everything. It just kind of felt like something was missing, and I wasn't sure what the next steps were with trying to figure those things out. And so, we have interacted several times. And so I was like, I think it's time to pull the trigger of just kind of approaching that coaching program to be able to just like figure out what else is out there and how to set myself up for success.
Well, I love that. And I was so grateful to know you before, during, and now after this experience. And, something I really loved about working with you was that you took action right away. And you always had coming in the growth mindset of, okay, I'm going to try things, I'm going to pivot, I'm going to adapt as I go. And you never saw the challenges as a setback or something that was really going to prevent you from moving forward. You were just like, all
hmm
right, cool. Like, I'm going to ask myself some deeper questions and really get to the root cause of that feeling that you had about,
hmm
okay, what is it that is missing? So I'd love to hear from you, Cassie. Were there any moments that stand out or realizations that happened for you during that time where you're like, okay, finally I can see the path to what's next?
I think that it was even one of the earlier exercises when we were identifying values. And I had like done value finding before and kind of looking, I think it's the Brene Brown things of getting it done. I think it kind of adjusts a little bit over time, but with life. But then I think part of the assignment was to overlap that with what you get out of your career and life in there. And it was just a realization that one of them I think was related to my family, which work wouldn't accomplish, but having flexibility with life it is important. But like this, the other four things didn't really align with what I was doing on a regular basis, and so it was what I how I was getting those was through my professional organization involvement. And while I was very thankful that my job allowed for me to continue to do that because I really enjoy that aspect of everything. I just wasn't really getting a lot of those buckets being filled with the current role.
Yeah, and that exercise is one of my favorites too, because I think when we've had those feelings of something is missing, but I'm not really sure what, turning
hmm
inwards to see what are those things that we believe very strongly about. What are the things that are most important, not only professionally, but also personally, during the
hmm
season that we're in and what really we want our career to be doing for us
hmm
in fulfilling all of those important personal priorities as well.
hmm
So were there any things that you discovered outside of that? The values thing is so important. Obviously, that's where we build everything from.
hmm
Any other surprises along the way, or I guess things about coaching that maybe you're like, I didn't realize this. I mean, you're a coach yourself, so you know what coaching is. But from the
Yes.
professional side, anything else come up for you that was interesting?
I really enjoyed the PQ learning that ha occurred throughout the course, and we had discussions and everything along the way to go with those. Because of course there's the longer educations there, but then we would discuss them further in our group sessions. And so I enjoyed those. You're well aware that I continue to use the app and the daily kind of breaks and everything. And I think one part of that I really got from that was being in the moment versus like being in your head. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's a lot of times that we have ourselves stuck because we're more stuck in our head, thinking of all the what ifs, why nots, why I shouldn't do this, why there's problems with that plan, instead of just like, what does the sun feel like right now? Instead of like
Yes.
just getting way in the weeds with everything and just like being there. Because again, I think not everybody who makes the statements about time flies, and it's so true, especially with kids and all of the activities and everything. But you have to really like soak in what you're experiencing. And so I really enjoyed how, those little breaks and everything throughout the day. And I wasn't perfect with it, and there was no expectation to be perfect with it. But just like having those kind of pauses, intentional pauses and the day to take 2 minutes to do whatever it was I think a very big help with everything as well.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing the PQ or positive intelligence is such an integral part of the coaching experience, I believe as well, because of that mental fitness that you build not only for these purposes, but for
Hmm.
everyday experiences. Like, okay,
Hmm.
we're not thinking about the past, we're not thinking about the future, we are here. And
Hmm.
just how that transforms your day to day can be extremely impactful. So, thank you so much for sharing that.
Hmm.
So obviously you've made your transition now. This is so exciting. I got to hear all about what you're doing now and where you're at. But if you could summarize, where have you gone? Where did you come from? What are you doing now? Give
Hmm.
us some cliff notes about what is your new role.
Yes. So you again went from a primary care role within a health system, split between two busy clinics. I had great physicians and everything that I worked with, but again, had to drive and to want to seek on some different challenges and everything as part of that. Again, very well supported in that role in there, but I needed more out of what I wanted in the next steps in my career. And so I just happened to find the role that I work with now. So my current role is with Spire Care. We're a primary care service for what we refer to as Blue KC patients. And so different challenges than what I was having. There's similarities and then there's differences, but I'm the only pharmacist, the only ambulatory care pharmacist, as well as a manager within the team. So getting some of those leadership aspirations and everything accomplished in there, the good, the bad, everything. It's all learning. I'm not expected to be perfect by any means, but I'm with the team that their goal is to be innovative with how we provide care. And so being able to offer that in there they already offer some great services with diabetes care specialists, which is I get to manage the two of those individuals which comes with fun new things to learn about myself and how to manage others, as well as just being able to help in ways that I don't even think they understood that pharmacists could impact the care that we provide, the safety that we provide, and how we can expand what we're doing with everything, designing educational pearls for the providers, guideline updates, that sort of thing because I'm a creative individual. I like to design and create kind of those types of things to share with the group. And so just being able to show different ways that a pharmacist can impact care with all of that has been a really fun transition with everything.
Yes. And I'm so happy for you that you made this transition. And obviously, all of your hard work paid off. Aside from obviously the big change in your life, world, job, what are you most proud of in this journey that you've been on for the past several months?
It may sound silly, but I am most proud of the fact that like I'm satisfied with not going full bore with everything. And so like not rushing myself. My manager is not rushing me. There's more patients that I could be touching, but there's no rush to it all. Getting time for all that. And like before, I felt like there was something that I was missing as part of it all. Like there's something I wasn't doing. And I'm sure that there's more impact I can be made, but I'm not like rushing it by any means. I like the fact that I can do other things that can show the impact of pharmacist care with this team and building those relationships to show those kind of things. And so being able to impact in different ways has been very fulfilling, as well as again just having the opportunity to like officially lead people. Because again, I've been a residency director, but leading people in this kind of a capacity is a different approach to things altogether. And so I like the fact that I can increase my leadership abilities and skills with what I am doing with my new role.
Yeah, I love the ripple effect that you're already having on multiple teams, multiple professions, and ultimately way more patients, in this new scope that you've had. And, with this unique kind of blend of leadership and managed care and primary care, I mean, this is just such an amazing role for folks to even look at and say, wow, like I didn't even know that was possible. So just so exciting to see your
Thank
journey.
you. Yes,
Now,
it's been fun.
yes. And, I think I know for me for sure, when I first heard about professional coaching, I had no idea like what that would be, what it would look like, what I'd be doing. So, how would you summarize if somebody's like, I don't even know what would happen in this process? Like, how would you explain it to someone? And then also, who do you think it's for? Because it's definitely not something everyone needs, wants, etc. So, how would you tell someone about this experience?
It's a good question. Um, I feel like a lot of people can benefit, honestly, from executive coaching, whether or not they know that they need it or not. Having somebody outside of your own leadership team to like ask you the hard questions and support you in different ways than what your manager can do is a very beneficial process with it all. And so I think that was extremely beneficial and even be like you probably need to have a conversation with your manager about how to do this. Because there's just questions that you think about, but like they're not really like done. You have to,
Mm-hmm.
again, there's just things and different perspectives that you otherwise wouldn't have taken without our conversations that we've had with it all. And so I especially think that people who feel like there's some kind of gap in their professional career, because again, pharmacy is very adaptive to things that you can do to do that. But you have to be able to ask yourself the hard questions and be willing to accept those answers, even if they're not something that you were ready for. I think so. Those are the people. So I think that can happen at any spectrum in your
Mm-hmm.
career, middle, beginning, end there. So just people who are willing and able to approach those kind of new perspectives or want that kind of again feeling like there's this void that you don't fully understand what's happening and that I think that that's like because again I'm an overachiever and I know that by trait in there but just being like it's not necessarily a bad thing but we just got to figure out how to enjoy the journey along the way which was a
Yeah.
big thing throughout it all and so those are the types of things that I think of when I think of the executive coaching program.
Yeah, such a great perspective. And I agree 100%. I mean, I've had coaches since I started coaching, and having that third party person who's impartial, who can hold up a mirror to you to show you the things that you're not seeing or ask you questions that cause you to have those revelations of, oh, like this is what I was missing. This is
Yeah.
why I was feeling that internal turmoil of something's just not feeling 100% maximized, or there's a part of my career or my personal life that's not lining up right now. So
Mhm.
thank you. That was such a great explanation. I'm going to keep that. Everyone should listen to that. Well, Cassie, thank you so much for your time today. I'm
Yes.
certain that we're going to be in touch throughout your journey, and I appreciate your time so much.
Well, I appreciate you, Jackie. Again, I appreciate the fact that I knew you ahead of time and being able to continue to work with you in this kind of capacity has been extremely helpful. And I appreciate the support that you have provided along the way. It doesn't feel just like a transactional type thing. I feel like you genuinely care about the individuals. So I appreciate that about you in this
Well,
program.
Well, thank you. That means so much. And I truly do. I mean, it's such an honor and privilege to be able to witness all of the things that get to come out of these experiences. And your story is one of my favorites. So thank you so much again for your time.
You're welcome. Have a great day.